here at the desk with Phil Bloyd once again. How many times do you think I've said that on a return of a break?
It's been a while, sure.
Okay, Lowcountry Money Talk. We have a lot to discuss. Before we headed to break, we were really talking with Phil about chasing high returns.
Right.
It's tempting to do that, and I want to make sure we kind of finish our thoughts on that, because people really do want to kind of go after that. It feels good when you win big, right? It's like gambling when you hit it big and you've made a decision. However, risk versus reward is not always worth it.
No. I think the best way there, Jess, is we develop a plan. And then most of my job is helping you to stay focused on completing the plan, sticking to the plan, not chasing these rabbits off the trail, because those will get you in trouble. A lot of times people, when the market's I'm going to put some more in there. So when I start getting a lot of calls from people wanting to put more in the market, that's a signal for me to start pulling back.
Yeah.
Because usually people do the wrong thing, the fear and greed.
Yeah, well, and it's emotional, right? Yeah. Because we get excited about maybe being able to make more, and then we get really nervous when it's not looking good. So we need kind of that steady guidance, right? That make sure we're keeping on the plan, keeping on track.
What better than a Marine to guide you along the way with no emotion? So we don't want to get emotionally attached to things, you know. And we can always give examples why we don't want to do this and what, but it's stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan.
I say that time and time again. My son Kyle, he could just repeat that in his sleep. How many times he's heard that. We develop a plan, we stick to the plan.
Right, there's a reason the plan is in place.
Right.
And you've got different plans for different scenarios, but they're a plan for a reason.
Well, wait a minute, so in this plan, this is 32 years of experience in following the plan, So let's stick to the plan, because we've seen it win year in and year out in all different types of markets. So let's stick to the plan.
And not everyone has a plan to stick to, so that's important too. Having a portfolio is not the same as having a plan. That is one thing I have learned from you.
Right.
Okay, so let's discuss this a little bit more in terms of taking on more risk to meet your objectives. And can you kind of just wrap that one up for us?
So Phil, I need to make more money. I'm talking to my investment advisor, and he or she says we need to put more in there. Okay, we talked about this a little bit last segment. It's like, well, let's say that the market average, we're using a benchmark. It could be the S&P 500 or another one. And let's say the benchmark average is 20% return for the year.
Yep.
And you're at 15% on your risk side of your portfolio. And it's like, well, we need to put more money in there because we're only getting 15% return. Well, the average is 20.
Yeah, right.
So my thoughts would be, do we need to put more money at risk, or do we just need to get average rate of return of in this example, 20?
Right. Do you really want more money in there, not even
below
performing
average.
at average?
I woke up this morning and I want to be below average, right? Nobody says that. So let's first do that. Now, the other thing we have to realize, if there's a huge downturn in the market, like 2008 and 9, or even like last year, 20% on the S&P 500, 35% on the NASDAQ, average it out, say 25% or so, it's a little bit harder to make that up. If we're more conservative, we can always, go a little more risky because we didn't get wiped out.
Right.
So my thoughts would be, first, when we're developing the plan, let's stick to that rule of 100. Let's be on the conservative side, and if we need to add to it later after experiencing the returns, we always can do that.
Yes, I love that rule of 100. It's so interesting because you can see what age you are on paper, Some people...
And the best way to do that is you need to do the Revolutionary Wealth Review.
Yes.
We'll make sure that you have the right amount at risk and the right amount not at risk, and that it's projecting enough income to last you through your retirement.
Yes, absolutely. One of the bigger fears we may have as we lead into and enter retirement. Okay, I'm fearful that this show's almost over. We got one more segment on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.